Hey, this is Foye Oluokun, linebacker with the Jacksonville Jaguars, and you're watching For the Athlete.
You're listening to For the Athlete, a podcast aimed at humanizing the athlete by giving them a platform to control their own narrative and tell their life stories. As always, here's your host, Brooks Huber.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of For the Athlete. I'm your host, Brooks Huber, and today we have an amazing guest. I don't even know if I would call him a guest anymore. We've had him so many times over the years. Welcome back onto the show, Jaguars linebacker, Foye Oluokun. Foye, thank you so much for coming on the show. How are you doing?
Doing pretty well. Just getting through this off season, getting back to training and stuff, getting ready for that next year.
Yeah, what's like an average day looking like for you in the off season?
Right now, just wake up, get your bearings, eat, work out, go home and chill. Or right now, I kind of read. I just came home from Missouri from seeing my family, my mom and dad and brother. Some guys go on vacation and stuff, but I'm getting back in the swing of things with working out.
There we go. Well, hey, that's great that you're able to see your family. We've got a lot of things to cover, some things to go over from our last conversation. If you guys haven't listened to that, I highly recommend it. You mentioned potentially meeting up with Nets owner Joe Tsai last offseason to discuss front office because you're interested in that post-NFL. Were you able to make that happen?
I didn't meet with him personally, but he set up me being able to kind of shadow people in the front office for a couple of days. Then I went up to a Nets game during the bye week, which was pretty cool. It's a good group they have up there. Kind of seeing the inside scoop here in the, it was right before the draft too, so I was kind of seeing how they operate or talk about players and stuff. It was a really cool experience. Yeah,
what was like your biggest takeaway from it?
Just the constant evaluation. Football is a little different evaluation, but they take in a lot of measurables, analytics, just like they do a football player. But just the way they go about evaluating these guys is, and then what they're trying to do with the team. It's pretty cool to see.
So after that meeting, that kind of cemented you wanting to go into that post NFL career, or how are you feeling about it right now?
I mean, if I can get my foot in the door, it's still open. Like I still got football to play, so it's an avenue I would want to explore. I know it's hard to really get into that, without real basketball background since high school. But I do know if I get my foot in the door anywhere, regardless of what sport it would be, I can make it happen.
Well, yeah, I mean, you obviously have many years left in your career. I also do want to touch on your basketball career because my good friend Caden had talked with me after our first episode. And he was like, you should have talked more about basketball. He seemed like he was really interested in basketball. I'm like, hey, you know what? You're right. That's on me. But yeah, you mentioned you had a real passion for basketball at a young age. I mean, and that you were good at it too. Was that something you ever considered playing in college?
Yeah, all the way up until senior year, really. You do all the tournaments, all the AAU tournaments. And it's harder to get recruited for basketball. It's only 13 guys in the team maybe. And all those kids out there playing. And then I didn't grow up past 6'2", so I was a pretty good player.
That's hard, yeah.
Yeah, I could have probably went to a smaller D1 school at the end of the day, or D3 or whatever, kept playing. But, people for football really, really wanted me, and people for basketball were recruiting me. So, just make the smarter decision there. Like,
I mean, hey, that makes a difference, right?
Yeah, I want to go and play right away. I was able to start at Yale game one. I went to Yale to play basketball. I probably wouldn't have seen good playing time. How you were saying in high school, you play every minute, probably until junior year. And then the Yale basketball team kept getting it better while I was there. So I made the right decision at the end of the day, but I like playing basketball for a hobby now.
Yeah, do you guys play any pickup games with the Jaguars?
Not a lot of pickup games, especially now that I'm getting a little older with the joints and stuff, switching services. We played one early in the off season. Just because everybody likes to talk about how good they are at basketball, but the effort isn't there for me. I really don't try at all during those games like I did my first 2 years with the Falcons. I was really out there, hooping. And now I kind of just, get some rebounds, let the game go up and down. Just really try not to do anything stupid out there.
You're kind of treating it like an NBA All-Star game?
Yeah, that's really what it is for me. Just have fun running up and down the court. But, it's something I have to give up, but I'm sure I want to join a men's league when I'm back done playing and my weight goes back down, probably to my natural weight. And probably a men's soccer league too, just to stay active and running and stuff. I won't give it my best effort.
Do you ever play soccer growing up, or is that just something?
That was my first sport.
Okay.
Yeah, that was my first sport. I was pretty heavy duty on that too, going all out of town tournaments. I think we were ranked top 5 in the nation as a team one time.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a lot. We did a lot of sports growing up.
So football wasn't your first love, but at the end, it was your last love. How you made it all the way to the NFL.
Sports, yeah. I just love thinking that whatever the sport's going to be. I like baseball too, so yeah.
Well, hey, I mean, let's talk about this season. You got a pick 6 on Derek Carr versus the Saints. I remember seeing that on TV, jumping up and down. I'm like, that's Foye, that's Foye. Walk me through that play and how much meant to you, because that was your first ever pick 6.
Yeah, it was cool. We were just playing a quarters coverage. I think I was on the lave from 3. He went a deep drag across the middle. I knew he was trying to clear me out for something, and then the dig was backside. I tried to explode back to my left. D. Will was there in good coverage, broke it up, and then the ball was in the air, so I caught it. There was people under my feet, so I kind of raised my knees up to not land on the receiver who just fell. And then all of a sudden I had a running space. I was going to try to run to the sideline now, but there was a defender there. I remember Trey was in front of that guy, so I kind of set up the block. And all the big guys were inside. So as soon as I saw the big guys running, I'm like, oh, let's get back outside. Bounce it outside. I was running for like maybe 5 yards. I can score here if I, turn this corner. So I turned the corner, got to the pylon, and I was about to extend it. You know how that works from the Ravens. And I said, no, I can't extend it.
Oh, yeah.
That's how people fumble. So I kept the ball in close to my chest and just dove for the pylon there.
Yeah, there's been a lot of instances this year. Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, Zay Flowers, where they're trying to do a little bit too much. Mm-hmm. And you're like, hey, let me just control what I can control.
Yeah, you already got the pick or whatever. The momentum is going to take you to the end zone for the most part. So you don't really have to, unless you're just 4th down or something, as a defender, you really have to extend that ball. Unless you just are very sure you're going to get over, because that'll be the most traumatic thing, I think, if you're right there and then you fumble into the end zone and now all of a sudden you're back on defense and the whole team's looking at you like you messed up.
That's almost like a 14-point swing, too.
Yeah.
Because then you lose the ball. And some people want to choose or change that rule. But I'm saying, why would you reward the offense from trying to do that? What's your opinion on people saying they want to change that?
That's the rule. What are you going to change it to? Like, they get the ball back or something?
Yeah. They say like, oh, you get back where you fumbled from. I don't like that at all.
What if the offense recovers? Like, what if the defense recovers?
Then the defense gets the ball. Yeah.
If you fumble out the end zone, then no, it's a safety.
People are, or well, I guess, if you're going to the end zone as a receiver. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think that it should be a touchback, because why would you reward losing the ball? Right.
That's why we have out of bounds. Yeah.
Exactly. So, people are trying to say, hey, this should be I like the rule, especially from a defensive standpoint.
Right.
What was the reaction in the locker room on the sideline after that pick?
I was really calm. I think everybody else was hype around me, but kind of the world slowed down. Kind of felt like high school again when I was running into the end zone. I just knew that I didn't want to celebrate too much because we were going to go right back on the field. And then they went hurry up as soon as we got on the field. So, yeah, they marched down on us. I don't know if we held them to a field goal or a touchdown, but they went hurry up on us because they knew we were tired. So, we could have done better there. But in the locker room, everybody was hyped. It was cool to kind of look back on it and be like, oh, yeah, you scored. Yeah, the pick 6 and stuff. Guy man had one since high school. I haven't scored a touchdown.
So, you didn't even at Yale, too, because you were, like a safety and a corner at Yale?
Mm-hmm.
Doing it all?
Couple picks, but couldn't find the end zone.
That's a hard thing to do unless you're Deron Bland. So he's kind of a magnet there. But, right. You mentioned you were calm on the sideline there. You got nominated by the Jaguars for the Art Rooney Sportsmanship Award. How much does that mean to you? And are you not talking trash on the sideline? Come on, you gotta talk real right back.
I talk trash to guys who talk trash to me. But at the end of the day, we're all competing. So people get in the moment like to rile, like, unless you're saying something personal about my personal life, like that you probably don't know, because I don't speak a lot about my personal life. There's not really much that can really affect me to get me all riled up. At the end of the day, it's about respect. If you disrespect me, like, I feel like it's real disrespect towards my game, where you don't respect me as a competitor, then I might, draw back and forth. But I understand just the flows of the game and the competitive juices. So I'm not really worried about people talking trash because I'll talk trash too, but I probably do it a different way than like attacking somebody's, character and stuff. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I just like competing. I think that's really what the coaches maybe not nominated me for, just the work ethic and the competitive spirit. I'm trying to win every play, every down.
I mean, that's a big accomplishment you got from your coaches. And out of, all the people players that you played against, who's like the most respectful but like best trash talker in your opinion?
Trash talker. I think Lamar's just funny. Like he just acts like, he's kind of nice, just like he'll laugh and stuff because he knows when he's doing well. And then like if you're trying to I remember one of our guys missed a sack on him. And then he threw a bomb to the left side. And then our guy was like, how do you keep doing that? He's just laughing it off like, yeah, like he just understands how good he is. So I respect that from him because he's like, you can try all you want, but you can't really stop me right now when he's in his little zone. So that's pretty cool to me. I don't like a couple of guys, how they go about trash talking. I'm not going to get into their names.
Oh, yeah.
I don't like
that
at all.
We like to keep it positive on here. We don't need to shed that negative light. But, I mean, yeah, Lamar was on an absolute tear this season.
Mm-hmm.
Some people maybe thought he shouldn't have gotten MVP. Some people thought he should have gone to CMC or Tyreek Hill or.
No, I should have went to Lamar. I mean,
you think he should have gone Lamar?
The best record, maybe, right?
Yeah, best regular season record.
So they're one game away from the Super Bowl. Obviously, he didn't play his best game that game, but for the whole season, I mean, it's a full season award. He had the best season. Chris McCaffrey had a great season too, but Lamar, I mean, he's the offense. He was the whole reason the offense goes. So the 49ers had a lot of talent over there. Obviously, different people had big games at different times. Obviously, when you have Brock Purdy up for it and Christian McCaffrey, that usually means that one of them is not going to get it. Both guys are MVP candidate, and it's the most valuable player. Like, you're clearly sharing the spotlight. So Lamar is the whole spotlight of the Ravens. He's probably going to win the MVP. So, yeah.
So you think the Niners having two candidates ended up hurting them in the end?
Yeah.
Okay.
How can you got to be your team's most valuable player. So you're saying that if Christian didn't get it, Brock's going to get it. That means you're not the most valuable to your team. You might be, but for the whole league, you're probably not.
I never thought about that way.
But yeah.
Yeah, I never thought about that way. Okay, so that's an interesting spin to put on that. That does make sense, and I can see why. Lamar was almost unanimous, too, for the second time in his career, which was really amazing to see. Let's now talk about Jaguars again. We love this Lamar talk, but you ended up playing the Falcons this year, your old team, and of course, you did your thing, you beat them. What was it like going against your old team? Did you end up talking to some of your friends who were playing on the Falcons? How did that all go about?
Yeah, I had some friendly banter with some of the guys on offense. They weren't moving the ball on us that much on offense, so it was easy. I didn't really have to say much. Maybe a couple words here and there. You're obviously going to get your old coaches. Said hi to them real quick before the game. I don't really go outside before the game, but like during that team warm up, definitely a couple of them up. And after the game, went to go talk to them. Then they all texted me after the game, but it was fun. Not a lot of bad blood there. A lot of respect towards them. I definitely wanted to get that win. Then we had Calvin on our team too, who also came from them. So we definitely wanted to get that win together.
Yeah, you guys played together, right? With Falcons at the same time. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. So you guys rookies together. You have that special bond. So that was your second game in London this year. When you decided to go to the Jaguars, you had to have known that, hey, these guys play in London every year, like they're London's team.
Yeah.
Does that bother you, throwing you off your schedule, going to London?
I think it's a great
much and having two games.
It's a great experience. I like it. It's not the best travel experience, but it's in terms of being able to go overseas and me not paying for it. I love it. You stay kind of far from the city, but you might have a day to go down there. Because we stayed down there for a week, I went down there a couple of times. One for a Jaguars event, one for a soccer game, and then one time just on my own. Just I think everybody goes to the malls there or whatever for a night. But you have curfews and stuff, so you got to get back to your hotel. So it's not like you really spend a whole bunch of time, going crazy over there. But it's just cool to see different culture, different city, and then just understanding the history of that city. Really, on Northeast, they tried to copy paste from, London, from other European cities. Like, it's really, the resemblance is, you can't miss it. It's like, oh, but this is here very many years earlier than the United States was even, founded. So it's just cool to see, cool to think about.
Yeah. Well, hey, I mean, you're going to be going there a lot more. I'm pretty sure you're going there next year. I haven't looked, but I'm just going to make that assumption because the Jaguars are always there. And you're able to get the win. I didn't watch the Falcons game just because, that's 6:30 a.m. in the morning where I'm from. But I'm glad you got the win there. And, I mean, let's talk more about this season. Again, you were snubbed of the Pro Bowl, and every year, I don't know if your opinion changes on if you get more frustrated, but I get more frustrated because I see you leading the league in tackles or being right up there every single year. And I'm like, what else more do you have to do?
Yeah, we had to win more games. I think I was going to be right there heading into that backstretch this season when voting was, I think, at its peak, and then we lost 4 straight, I think. So that definitely hurt. And I already know how it goes for us, for the Jaguars in general. Like, unless we're winning games, top of the league, we're not going to get the recognition individually that we maybe all deserve. So losing those games at that time definitely hurt us as a team. 1, to make the playoffs, that's the most important. And then 2, those individual awards or whatever we're trying to get. So I know when we win, if we win the whole thing, everything's going to fall into place. So that's really all I can keep worrying about. I think when I start worrying about, I might actually make the Pro Bowl this year, this is another thing clouding the mind. Just go out there and play football and win, and everything's going to work out. And I think that's going to be my whole mindset all next year. I'm not really caring about, individual accolades and stats, because I know when you win, if you're the top defense, you're going to get everybody's going to be first team, everything. If you get in the Super Bowl, people are going to have to recognize it as you guys are good. So at the end of the day, if we make it that far, I probably did my thing anyway, because the only way we can make it that far is if we're playing well. So let's do that.
Most humble player in the league, I swear. I swear you're the most humble player in the league. I mean, that's awesome. Let's talk now about, like you mentioned, you guys kind of had a skid at the end of the year. Lost 4 straight, lost 5 out of 6. I mean, can you take me through that whole thing? Because, I mean, as on the outside looking in, you guys were fresh off that win against the Texans and C.J. Stroud. You guys were flying high. Yeah. What happened?
I mean, I just think earlier in the year we were winning. I mean, we have a lot of talent, a lot of good ability on the team. We might have let things slide that we were getting away with, but we were winning. And then all of a sudden, you come off an emotional win like that Texans win. I forgot who we played next. We get punched them out of the game. We feel like would definitely, put us in a driver's position. People, everybody watches, especially when you're winning. People starting to watch more, see how to beat you. They kept on attacking the things that we were weak at. So, unfortunately, we weren't correcting the things while we were winning, and then, going to a downward spiral. It's hard to get out of it when it's not really, your ethos yet, because you were getting away with it earlier. So noticed it a little too late. We trying to get ourselves out the hole, but that momentum, I guess if you want to say that word, was already there. It was tough for us. Just trying to find the positivity, some light to get us through. But that's not the way to play football in the NFL. You don't want to get through the season. You don't want to get to the playoffs. You want to be peaking at the right time at the end of the season for the playoffs. So we didn't deserve to get in the way we were playing. But we have to take it as a learning experience and prepare the right way all the way through the season next year.
So those things that when you guys were winning, you kind of got away with, and then when the losing streak kind of started, are you guys focused on correcting that this season? Is that a coach's emphasis?
You try to better yourself every season. At the end of the year, at the end of the day, we were 9-8, so technically you weren't bad. You had ability.
You guys were good. You guys had a good team.
It's technically a win a year, so it was not, we weren't bad at all. I think shoot, the team that made the playoffs probably had the same record as us, I think. Or did they have one more win? The Texans.
I think it was the same. No, I think they had
They
10.
ended up
Yeah, I think they
we
had
lost that
10.
last game. But we were right there, just correcting things here and there, and then bringing the right mindset to the games. Winning and losing is very little difference between wins and losses in the NFL. You just, correcting stuff and staying with the right mentality all the way through the year.
That's a great way to look at it. Speaking of the Texans and the Colts, you're going to be playing against these really young, good quarterbacks for the next how many years? How do you go up against those guys? C.J. Stroud, Anthony Richardson, and I guess Will Levis now.
Prepare like, I played against premier guys my whole career. Prepare like they are those guys. At the end of the day, it's a divisional game, so those games kind of count as two. You beat them, they go down a game, you go up a game. They're basically must-win games, and then if you have that must-win preparation, they each bring different talents. Richardson's a bigger guy, cannon arm, can run, great athlete. You have to be able to be on your assignment football for him because he can pull it and run at any time, or you can, hurt you in the throwing game. Levis, going to be, I'll see how they play him next year. They probably won't have Derrick Henry, so we'll see what kind of quarterback he becomes, if he's a drop back passer, if he's still this play action RPO guy. CJ, he has that second play ability where, they run kind of quick elementary routes first play. And then that same play, as soon as that breaks down, they all turn and run upfield really far, and he can chuck it a mile. So he extends the play, uses his speed to extend the play, and can find throwing lanes. And, he's a great talent, similar to that Mahomes type quarterback that everybody's trying to become now. So just keep preparing as if, it's our playoff mentality during all those, divisional games, because it really is. You win all of them, you're probably going to be in the playoffs. We obviously lost 2 at the end there, and then we missed the playoffs. So, each game is important, though.
Yeah, you mentioned how the Titans, they probably won't have Derrick Henry. Let's play GM now. We're going to talk about the Bears because they're not in your conference. I don't even know when you play them. And you want to be a GM one day. What would you do if you were the Bears? You have the first overall pick. You have a lot of picks. You have Justin Fields.
I protect
What are you
Justin
doing?
Fields. I mean, everybody seems to like him. I think he has good arm talent, good able quarterback. I don't know how well he learns playbooks and stuff because I'm over here. So I think that's what I would really need to see first. But in terms of the talent that he has, I feel like he could learn the playbook. It's all about timing, getting the throws down, having confidence in himself. But I think give him a little bit extra time in that pass game. Hopefully he can make things shake. So I'm going for either I'm trading it for more picks to get bolster up my line, either trading to get a premier lineman, offensively and defensively. That's what I'd probably do. But I don't know Justin Fields person. I don't know how he works up there. But from what I've seen, his good games, I know he has the capability to.
Yeah, so you're thinking trade back, maybe or if you're at 1 still, do you take Marvin Harrison then?
Oh, does he have no receivers there? I don't know who the Bears have.
Well, I mean, they have DJ Moore and I guess Darnell Mooney, but
I mean, you don't need. It depends on you need Marvin. Like if I can get 2 early round picks for my 1 pick, Marvin Harrison is 1 receiver, but how many times do we see if I have more talent, one of them's going to hit. Marvin Harrison,
right.
He might hit. Is he going to be the generational player? We don't know. He might be. He probably will be. But that's just 1. If I could get multiple guys for my 1 pick, because I think a lot of people really want this number 1 pick to get that.
Oh my goodness, so many people do.
Caleb. So I can really make a whole package for this and give me quality receivers or quality, That's just what I think, because, you're banking on 1 guy. A lot of times you bank on 1 guy, you don't turn out to be the franchise guy that you always wanted, or, injuries happen too. So hopefully that would ever happen to Marvin Harrison. But I just want more. First of all, I want veteran, proven guy already. Somebody's already played that I know is good. I had NFL film on. And then maybe, 2 college guys who I can take a chance on.
See, I like the way you're thinking about it. I'm thinking the same way Because right now, if you put Caleb Williams in that offense, it's probably not going to thrive anyways. Why not continue to build around Justin Fields? And plus, why would you draft a quarterback when your head coach is on the hot seat? Because if you have one bad season, now you're bringing a whole new coaching staff. And will they like Caleb Williams? How will that all mesh out? I think that's what people aren't thinking about either. Because I think when they kept Matt Eberflus for another year, I felt like that kind of showed me, okay, I think they're kind of committed to Justin Fields. Or else why would you do that? Why wouldn't you just go fresh from scratch? But I love talking GM with you. It's a lot of fun. I have a great time with it. Last one is keep or walk Josh Allen on the Jaguars.
I would love to keep him. I don't know what the he's just a good guy. You know, he's one of my best friends in the team. I would love to keep him. I think that we're good for each other. Just the way that we can talk about ball or just talk about life. He's a good talent. And I think with his new GC, the new coordinator is going to love, using him in the scheme. So obviously he deserves all the money he's going to ask for. It's not ask for, crazy amounts. But, I want him here. So I'm sure they'll find a way. If they don't, he's getting everything he needs. He deserves from his game. So it's a win-win for him, but I would like to play.
Yeah, the Jaguars fans that I've talked to, they're worried that he might not be able to stay. And I'm really hoping he does. He had a career year. Yeah. Have you talked to him at all about the upcoming situation?
No,
like what you went through personally?
That part's business. I mean, I left the Falcons. I never thought I'd leave the Falcons, to be honest with you. Coaching staff changed, and he's been through many coaches. So, and then, they had some cap. It's all the business part. So, like I said, if he ends up leaving, I know he's getting what he deserves from the game. If he ends up staying, hopefully they gave him what he deserves as well. But it's his life to live, so I can't really say stay or go, but I would like to play with him.
Yeah, I only have one more question for you. And, I mean, what does the future hold for you in the NFL and outside? Do you want to retire as a Jaguar? Do you want to maybe go back to Atlanta? Eventually, not within the next 3-4 years, but I'm saying, down the line. What do you think?
3-4 years? We'll see how I'm feeling in 4 years. But retire as a Jaguar, I definitely always want to play for coaches who respect me, for my teammates who respect me. I would definitely, Jaguars keep having faith in me to keep playing. Definitely love to play for them. But at the end of the day, it's always a business thing. So if they feel like they need to go younger or get other positions bolstered up and stuff, I understand, that decision there, because obviously we did not win the Super Bowl. So it's always an equation trying to find the team best to get to that point. Me personally, I like to play for coaches that believe in me. So, they have that faith in me that they want to bring me back, obviously. I would love to do it. I want to keep being the leader that I am. I love the number that I wear here. There's a lot of pluses playing in Jacksonville.
23 is a good number.
Great number. I like familiarity, and I've become kind of attached to coaches that go on a limb and say they have that faith in me and put that trust in me. So I don't ever want to let nobody down who I play for. So I'll leave it at that.
That's an amazing mindset. That's all I have for you. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
I'm pretty good. I was a pretty good podcaster.
Hey, I appreciate it. Well, every single time we get better. The first time was about 4 years ago. I just recruited you to the Cowboys the entire time. So we got that. You remember that one?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Once Dan Quinn went over? Mm-hmm. Yeah, hey, that's on me. That wasn't too professional. And then, then the next time, I didn't bring up basketball again. Sorry, Caden. You'll be watching this, so I'm sorry about that. And, this time I feel like we wrapped it all up good, and hopefully we can get you on next year. It'll be a contract year, so I'll have some hard-hitting questions for you.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
All right, well, I'm your host, Brooks Huber, signing off until next week. Thank you for listening to the Foye Oluokun episode of For the Athlete.
Thanks for listening to For the Athlete. As always, be on the lookout for another athlete appearance next week. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and wherever you listen to podcasts.